Last time on The End of Time and Other Bothers.
Hello there. Come in. Roger, over.
Egerton, it's you.
Let me introduce my sister, Ananka.
Very pleasing to meet you.
As of today, you're all cadets.
I assume you've all met our quartermaster, Phil.
I have a picnic basket.
I had a cookie, but I ate it.
We have a sailboat with which to conquer evil!
We have taken a story that Ananka assures me is free of the shattering. You will just be going into it to retrieve something of significance from that story. You guys all step through the portal. You're standing in a lush valley leading up to a storybook castle.
Oh, just having a little interaction with the undead!
There was some zombies, but Blatt blew them up, and then he got cut on a tree, and he has bark in his pants. I don't really know why.
Egerton!
What? Yep, no.
If you were to come across an influence of the shattering, you can just stick this beetle on them, activate it, and they will be gone.
I'm sorry, stick the beetle on who?
Their eyes go completely black. Who are you? Kill them all. One must arrive, neither by horse or by foot.
What about flying? Black can fly.
You should probably go check it out.
The camera begins over some dead bodies in a muddy field, moves past a burning fire and up and around to see a beautiful castle in the distance. And we fly forward, coming down to our favorite three. Egerton, who appears to be shouting into a medallion that he's holding up to his mouth. Darcy, who is looking not amused, and Blatt as they stand before a signpost in the road on the path to the castle.
So it clearly indicates that we have to go inside the castle, but we can't go inside the castle through the door or through the road or through walking, and that kind of limits our options. And Blatt's being a little weird about his wings today. I'm not too sure why, but that seems like the easy way. Maybe you could advise us, because you are our advisor and you somehow can help us with how we should go forward into this adventure.
Egerton.
Yes.
Let her answer.
Oh, yeah, sorry, go over and out.
So you were having trouble accessing the door.
Well, we haven't been to the door per se, but there's a sign that says, hey, don't use the door.
Okay, let me just read this part. Okay. Yes, I seem to recall this. One must come to me, neither clothed nor naked, neither afoot nor on horse, and speak to me neither indoors nor out.
Well, Blatt took off his shirt.
So what you're staring at on the sign reads different. One must arrive neither by horse or by foot, neither by road or by path. If this person comes, the kingdom will be saved. If not, we shall be destroyed by proclamation of His Excellency King Premier.
We are getting some conflicting information here. Please hold.
I think we have to go with what's on the sign. That's what's in front of us, so I don't think we need to care if we're naked. We just need to worry about how we're going to get there.
Says the person who isn't going to fly off by themselves and get murderized immediately.
Yes, says that person.
I also do not want to get murderized, so I don't know what that should be.
And as a non-flying individual, you won't be.
Exactly. Thank you.
Now, Blatt, how will you let us know that you've been murderized? That's the important part. You can use your medallion.
Oh, good. I'm glad to know we can keep right up to the minute and the exact moment where I'll die an excruciating death.
Excellent. Okay.
And how am I to arrive neither clothed nor naked?
That's what I'm saying. Ignore that part. That's not on the sign. It was just what Ananka read from her point of view.
So, sometime is only a version of that story. The universe is basically the same, but sometime it's just a little different, but it's a version. It's just a version of that story.
That's so what I'm being told from the medallion lady is that it's a version of the story that's not.
Blatt grabs the medallion that's around Egerton's neck and yells into it, "What happens when we get to the door?"
Okay, in this story, is it possible that the door can ask you a question?
I don't know. I'm not at the door. I'm here screaming into a piece of jewelry half naked.
But you're half naked, so it means you're not fully clothed, so you have one of the above.
I feel like I would have more success if I was trying to order a pizza from this woman.
Blatt, Just fly up to the castle and then come back and tell us what you see. Obviously, there's a door there.
Could you please let go of my medallion?
Oh, I'm terribly sorry.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Off I go. If I get murdered, you'll just have to wait longer for me to come back.
Remember to put your dial on your medallion to calm.
I'm not an idiot.
The End of Time and Other Bothers. An improvised fantasy role-playing game set in the world of Albus Salix. Your game master is Sean Howard, with players Carter Siddall, Marisa King, and Michael Howie, and special guest Maggie Makar. Episode 7, The Riddle, Part 2.
So, Blatt, you are flying towards a castle. It's not that far away. You'll get there pretty quickly. It's made out of white stone, and it gleams almost as much as the golden conical roofs of the innumerable turrets. In fact, there's so many turrets in this castle. It's like saplings in a forest, each searching for the light. There's almost too many for the size of castle that it is. The walls are many stories high, and as you're coming closer, you see a rather impressive gatehouse. It has a large portcullis that is open, and you see what appears to be 4 guards standing there, and they're sort of at attention, and then one of them sort of like looks and spots you, and then you see a lot of commotion and yelling and pointing. And now you see movement on the parapets, and you see people running out with what appear like bows, running along the top of the parapet.
And that's my cue to land. So I'll slowly circle down until I don't want to land too close to where the guards are on the ground. I'll try to land about 50 feet away.
Okay. So Darcy and Egerton, you're back at this proclamation that's posted on a board, and you see Blatt take off, go about 500 feet, and then begin to circle and land. So you can sort of see him. He's not like, he's a few minutes walk for you. So
Shall we walk towards him?
We should probably wait for him to report back to us. I think this is a nice spot, though. Maybe we can take out the boat.
Egerton.
Fine. Okay. This is Egerton here, medallion lady. We are going to go forth and look for Blatt. So I'm going to switch this to recharge for a bit, because we have been warned repeatedly about that. So if you will stay tuned, we will be back with an update when an update is available to be provided to you, and we will give you the information we have at that time.
Roger that, ferry boy.
Okay, over and out. And I switch the medallion to recharge.
And I press the comm button on my medallion and I say, Blatt, can you hear me?
where is your medallion set to? Have you changed it?
I have not changed it yet.
Blatt. Oh, he didn't change the dial. I knew this would happen. Let's just go. Let's go find him.
Okay, you go
and
first.
I switch to recharge as well.
Okay. Blatt, you circle down and hit the ground, and you see 5 archers on the top, all drawing bows. You hear some shouting in the distance. You see the guards that were out by the gatehouse have now all run inside, and they're slowly lowering the portcullis.
Greetings and salutations, guardians of the castle. I have come neither through walking or a wheeled chariot. I believe your sign said something about that. So I have arrived through the proper fashion, and I bid you greetings. Hello.
Okay, so Blatt, you're gonna roll Defy Danger, and you gotta tell me before you roll though. I guess you're speaking, so it's gonna be like charisma.
Charisma, which
All right.
I have a +2 on.
Ooh, okay, roll it.
Blatt is nothing if not charismatic.
Ooh, that's pretty.
That's an 11.
Okay, so you hear a shout go up, hold! And you see the portcullis coming down, and you hear another shout and some shouting back, and then the portcullis stops. And you see one gentleman sort of ducking under the portcullis and walking forward towards you.
Ah, good. The manager, I assume.
He's still about 100 feet away, but he's walking towards you.
Kind sir, I was wondering if perhaps you could help us, since I came through winged flight and not through the power of shoe leather.
He stops about 50 paces away. Are they with you? And he points past over your shoulder.
Ah, yes, they are with me. They'll be here in just a moment. We didn't know if they coming through walking would count. We thought you preferred your guests to arrive via the air. How would I do?
What are you? What foul beast?
Foul beast is a little impolite. I am half human, and that's the half that counts. The good half, eh? That's right. It's a long story. My father had a brief dalliance during his young man days with someone not entirely of this dimensional plane, and 9 months later I arrived. But just know that I bear you no ill will, and did I mention I came by the air? That seems to be something that your castle-type folk prefer.
He's just staring at you. He's like, have your people put down their weapons. Put all your weapons down on the ground.
We have no weapons. The woman that approacheth from the north has a boat. I don't think that counts as a weapon. We are weaponless. The larger fellow has some baked goods. That perhaps might be... I don't know how many of you there are. He has quite a few. He could stand to get rid of some. He doesn't need them all, if you know what I'm saying. So just any minute they'll be here, and completely weaponless, without weapons of any kind. Do they need to keep pointing arrows at me? Perhaps that could stop while we're doing our tete-a-tete.
He makes a gesture, and the portcullis starts to raise, and you see a wagon coming out. It's like, you are within range. Stay where you are.
So Darcy and Egerton have now approached close enough that
Yeah.
they can see Blatt gesturing.
Yeah.
And when he gestures towards us, I put my hand on Egerton and we stop. And then I hear him say boat. So I reach into my satchel and hold my toy boat aloft, thinking that this has been asked to show the boat. And I think we just stand there and wait for further instructions. Are you holding your fairy cakes aloft, perhaps?
I'm eating one.
Roll fairy cakes.
Oh, no.
Did he call me Tubby?
I didn't hear that.
And that is 7.
Okay, you're drunk.
But he's such a good half demon.
Egerton, you didn't even need a fairy cake. Why did you
What?
eat a fairy cake?
Because I stress eat sometimes. I mean, there's all these pointy things pointing at us.
Well, now you seem completely
And-
out of it.
Hey guys! No, shh, Darcy, be quiet.
The guy sort of takes a step back.
I'm not that close to them. They are part of my party, but not people that I've known for quite some... That's a lovely wagon. Is that for us? I didn't think you want us entering via wagon. Shall we get on the wagon? Is that customary?
So the wagon is coming towards you. There are 8 guards with it, and it is like a cage. And they are wheeling it out to you, towards you.
Did not see the cage, not a fan of the cage. Perhaps I could just walk in with my... All right, I don't know why she's holding the boat. Put the boat down.
And Darcy puts the boat back into her
Good.
satchel.
They may walk in. You have to ride in.
I want to ride too.
He can ride in with
All
you.
right, we're going for a ride, Vlad. Let's go for a
Egerton,
ride. Well,
just keep quiet.
I'm being quiet. You be quiet. I can be quiet whenever
So
I
the
want to be
wagon
quiet.
comes up to where he is, and they stop, and he opens the door, and he's like, you are welcome into our kingdom through your chariot, sir.
I feel that the sarcasm is unnecessary. And Blatt enters the cage. Are you coming, Egerton? You could just walk.
Ooh, let's
like
go for a cage ride.
Why are you getting in a cage, Blatt? I feel,
you're coming up
reached
now.
Blatt by now. Blatt, what are you doing in the cage?
I have to enter through the cage because I'm apparently a demonic hellspawn from Hades below.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I run forward
So
and
we can
jump
walk
in.
in?
You jump in.
Yeah.
You are welcome. If you have no weapons, we're going to pat you down. You are welcome to enter, walk in, or you may ride in his chariot with
I
him.
have this boat.
That's allowed.
I'll happily walk in, thank you.
We're going for a
So
ride.
4 guards two are on each side of you, and they close the door and lock it on your chariot. So Darcy, as the guard locks the door and turns, you notice that he's got a strange rectangular nameplate-like thing that has like a series of numbers on it. And it just strikes you. It's almost like a flash, being back working in the cafeteria and how every employee had one of those, the same shape, even though this is made of different material.
Okay.
I turn my communicator back on, say, okay, so now we're in a cage and we're going for a ride, and I'll be back to you soon.
Please do not talk.
What's he doing?
It's okay.
Stop the wagon!
No, it's okay.
It's perfectly fine. As you can see, my friend is very inebriated and loves his medallion very much, and sometimes shares secrets with him. You share secrets with jewelry,
love
don't
it.
you? Yes.
I love my medallion and the lady that talks from it.
No, that's again.
Hello, are you there? What is
I'm
happening?
here. It's okay. They're asking about you. I'm telling them, though, that you're very nice and that everything's going to be okay.
You hear Egerton being grabbed and dragged out of a...
Don't be scared. I think you may be going to see a king or a queen or someone very important.
Stop that thing! Make it stop!
I can make it stop, but you will need to give me my hands back from behind my back.
Let one of his hands go.
Okay, I'm going to let you go because they've got the arrows pointed at me and there's a sword in my back. So I'm going to turn this off for now, but I look forward to talking with you again later.
Roger that, fairy boy.
Okay, over and out. And I turn it off.
And that, of course, was our famous ventriloquism act. The 3 of us travel across different counties with our special talking jewelry. I am Blatt, he's a drunken idiot, and she's wearing pants that are too big for her. We may shorten the name of our group, but perhaps your king and queen will enjoy watching our special program.
Cut to all 3 of you being thrown into a cell, and the door slams shut, and the head guard sort of dusting his hands and walking out of the room.
Egerton!
Oh, hi.
Why? Why, when we're heading towards an unknown castle, would you decide that would be the moment to get completely blotto?
Well, I was a little bit nervous, and I heard you say that I was tubby, and when I feel bad about myself, I start eating, and the only thing I had to eat was a fairy cake.
Be quiet,
Oh,
Egerton.
okay,
This is getting too much. We could be in big danger. Sometimes I think it would be better if you weren't with us. Maybe they should have taken you somewhere else.
Oh,
And Darcy's hair starts to stand up.
why? Okay, I'm gonna go
Her
to this
eyes
corner.
get a strange yellow gleam.
That's very pretty, but I'm going to go over here and Blatt, Blatt, you just stand there and I'm going to come behind you, Blatt. There we go.
And I grab, as he goes behind Blatt, I grab his little pouch I think you have.
Yes.
And I rip it off you. I am taking your fairy cakes until further notice. And I stick them in my satchel.
My fairy cakes.
So you are all 3 in what appears to be a pretty standard small prison. As you came in, you would have seen that there were 4 cells, most of which were empty. There does appear to be someone in the cell next to you. It's all open bars. There is an old desk in the room, but there is nobody sitting at it, and all the guards have gone back out the front door. Now, as you were coming into the castle and you were led in through the portcullis, you would have gone through the inner ward of the castle, and you would have noticed that it was a very large open space, but there were about 50 workers all building some kind of monument in the center, like massive, like steadfast, massive monument in the center of this castle that appeared to be some kind of giant flower. And then they would have taken you right into the guard shack and unceremoniously dumped you there.
Did they take our medallions?
They did not take your medallions.
I'm sitting and I've got a tear in my eye from being yelled at. And I turn my medallion back to communicate. I'm sorry, but they yelled at me. And now I'm kind of sad. And she took my fairy cakes, and I don't know how to be sad without my fairy cakes.
Don't be sad, fairy boy. I feel you will be okay. I have seen this. I know you will be fine. I trust the vision.
You saw us in the jail cell?
Maybe it was not as accurate as I had hoped, but this is minor speed bump in the road.
But maybe you could help us get out of the jail cell because you've got this communicating thing and you can see everything. So maybe you could say like, hey, there's a weak bar in the thing, and you just twist it and it opens, then everyone will like me again, and then I'll have my fairy cakes back.
I can see most things, but these sorts of little details not really a strong point.
Anka, I think I found another book.
Oh, let me see.
Oh, no, sorry, it's in a strange language.
Oh,
I'll keep looking. Maybe we'll find one that's more exact to what's happening.
okay. Hold still. Hang tight. Figure something out if you can. This is what you have trained for. I know you are ready for this. We will get back to you. I'm so sorry. We will get back to you.
We didn't get
And
any
it
of this
cuts off.
training. Oh, okay. Can I put it back to recharge?
Yep.
Shift it over. Say, so I talked with Ananka, and she says that she saw this, but not this.
We heard, Egerton.
And-
we
okay,
heard.
Okay.
We heard.
All right. There's a guard. We're going to try to barter our way out of this with either fairy cakes or a fairy cake lover. That's right. I will barter you if I have to.
Oh, okay.
Guard! Guard!
The door swings open. You see a different guard poke his head in. Keep it down.
Oh, I would, but I have a very good offer to make to you, my dear friend.
All right, this is gonna be good. He turns to someone else, goes, "I'll be right back out," and he steps in, leaving the door open, and walks over. Stops about 5 feet away from the cell.
You seem like a man of refined taste. Do you have a sweet tooth, perhaps?
Well, I like mead.
Mead is good, mead is close enough. So, what my lovely assistant here has in this little pouch is a collection of the finest dessert items you could ever come across. These are, dare I say, magical dessert items, each with its own special surprise properties. Perhaps we could interest you in not one, not two, not three, but the entire satchel full. Shut up, Egerton. I swear to
But
God, shut up.
Okay.
Then, perhaps, if we give you this pouch,
That sounds good.
we can perhaps forget to lock the cell door and point us out of the portcullis. What do you say, my good friend?
I think this sounds good. And he turns and picks up a bow, pulls an arrow, points it straight at you, and he's like, "Toss the pouch out."
I did not foresee this happening. Throw him the pouch. Just give him the pouch, Darcy.
And Darcy's just looking at Blatt with the most ferocious eyes because she does feel the fairy cakes are of some value to their party.
There's 3 of you. I'm happy. I got 3 arrows here.
So Darcy pulls out the pouch and she pushes it through the bars
Kick it a little further.
and she drops it and kicks it a bit closer to him.
Oh, no.
He looks at you. He's like, "Would have been fun to shoot you." And he puts the bow down, takes the pouch, and walks outside. "Hey, guys, I don't know. This might be poison. Who wants to try it?"
All right, fairy demon, sit down and shut up.
And again, Darcy's hair is just getting like almost straight up now and the eyes are just glowing.
Now listen,
We actually need a plan. Obviously, the guards aren't going to let us out of here. Ananka isn't going to magically transport us out of here. Your fairy cakes are gone. So let's think through this. When we came in, there was someone else in here. Where is this prisoner? This other prisoner?
The
you
next cell
mentioned?
over.
Oh, just right beside us, watching all this lunacy?
Yeah. Actually, no.
Okay.
The person is sort of like hunched over and seems to be drawing with a stone on the wall of there,
Okay.
the
So
back wall of the building.
So Darcy
cell.
crouches down beside the open bars, right near where this person is. Hey, hello? Hello?
Huh? Yes. I must draw. And you notice the whole back wall of this person's cell is a very familiar shape. Over and over. It is the city of Steadfast. As seen from above, the four-petaled flower shape that you know so well twining around itself, which is drawn on almost every building, every piece of guard's clothing, and it is drawn over and over again on the back wall of the cell next to you.
So I look over at the demon and the fairy, and I don't say anything, but I gesture at the wall, hoping that they'll notice, even though Egerton is weeping slightly. What's your name?
I must draw.
What are you drawing?
What? I don't know.
I believe he may have drawn my apartment complex.
Can you describe this person a bit more?
You've never seen them ever. Sort of dirty clothing, sort of hunched over, maybe 30s, like a drunkard.
How could they know about Steadfast?
Wait. They said that there might be 2 other people coming. This might be one of those people.
In this cell?
Well, we're in the cell.
Hello? How long have you been in this cell?
The person is sort of banging their head against the wall as they draw over and over.
I don't know if this person's going to be much help. Does anyone have any ideas? Not Egerton. Blatt?
Well, my idea got rid of the fairy cakes, so while that hasn't solved anything, I feel as if we've removed a future problem.
I still have the fairy cakes in my pocket.
What?
Could someone strip search him next time? He's still loaded with fairy cakes.
But maybe if we give one of the fairy cakes to this drawing individual, they'll be able to tell us a bit more.
Well, fairy cake it up. That's the only card we have to play.
Okay, so I need you to roll fairy cake for me for the guards.
For the guards?
Yeah.
Oh, to see if we get... Oh, darn it. Well, that's...
an 11 for
Okay.
the guards.
Yeah, they're doing great.
No, but
They're
that might
having
be good for us.
They're having a party outside with the fairy cakes.
all right.
No adverse effects. Okay, because that's a complete success.
All right, Egerton. This doesn't seem like the worst plan in the universe, so why don't you give me the fairy cake?
Okay, this is a snappy flavored one because I remember you were sad that you couldn't have snappies the other day, so I made it special for you and I was saving it for later.
And I just grabbed the fairy cake. Hello, you must be hungry. Would you like some cake? And I put my hand gently through the bar.
Okay, let's roll parley. Let's do it as parley.
It's a 7, and what would I get a plus on?
You would get a plus
On handing things to people.
Charisma.
charisma. You're trying to break through.
I have 0 charisma.
Okay, so it's a partial success. So
Okay.
I'll say you catch their attention,
Okay.
but then they go right back to writing. But they're like looking at you a little now. But they're going right. They're just writing, and they're writing hard, and they're bashing their head a little harder against the back wall.
Okay.
Trickle of blood coming down as they're continuing to draw.
Okay, so I take a little piece of the fairy cake, and just a little piece, and I eat it, and I go, num, 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 num. This is so good. I think it even has purpley pinky sprinkles. Are you sure you don't want any of this?
And they reach out a hand towards you.
Okay, and I gently give them a piece of the fairy cake.
Very hesitantly, they're working it the whole time, and they lick it.
And I'm nodding. Yes, it's good, isn't it?
And then they bite into it. Roll fairy cake, please.
Fairy cake.
Oh, God.
That is a 4.
Okay. So then they go back to bashing their head into the wall and drawing.
I don't know. This doesn't seem to be working. I can't get
It's a great
their
idea.
attention.
Bad fairy cake.
Yeah.
Been sitting in the pocket too long.
Hello! You from Steadfast come. We come also. You draw apartment building. You know local dry cleaner?
Hey,
No response.
Hey, Blatt.
Drawing.
Blatt, I know you're not too happy with me right now, but I had a question for you. If you don't mind, I'd like to ask you that question, but I don't want to get yelled at again.
Well, we have nothing but time. Go ahead and ask me.
So, you know how sometimes when there's zombies or flowers or trees and you say, bazooka, and then a bazooka appears, could you maybe be like, key, and a key would appear? Or like, bolt cutters, or something like that?
I'm not a wizard.
Okay.
Thanks to being half demonic, I have what has been referred to as a soul-bound weapon. Not something that my mother ever told me about, but that's it.
With good reason. It's a bazooka.
Now, it's possible. Wait! I have an idea.
Hold on that. So, Ananka, you are racked, so just go with however you want to go with it, with an even stronger premonition. As if the shattering is about to reach out and touch the three. Moira's just walking up with a book. I found a third book of a third variation. Ananka, are you okay?
Moira, it's not... The book, forget it, no.
Ananka,
I have
blood.
a horrible...
Blood is coming down from your eyes.
There is a horrible vision. It is happening. There is a blackness. I don't think this is pure anymore. It is not untouched. There's darkness. It is spreading. It is spreading there. If we don't get them out, we will lose our...
Okay, deep breaths. Let me get some water. Are you able to talk to them right now?
Hello? Is anybody there? Fairy boy? Blood? We have to get them out.
Okay.
It is not safe. There is a blackness. That is all I can say. It is all I can see. I can only see blackness. It is spreading slowly. It is going...
Ananka, we only have one hunter left, and it's Greg.
Not Grishka, not again.
It's the beginning of the middle of the end of time. And other bothers.
Hello?
Hey, Carter, it's Mike. I got the new shipment of merchandise for the end of time and other bothers.
Now, do podcasts usually have a lot of merchandise?
Oh, yeah. I mean, a lot of the other ones, they have T-shirts and shoes and parachute bags. But I thought we could try some of this really cool, inventive stuff I saw online.
So next level podcast merchandise.
You have no idea. Okay, first, so I've got a couple T-shirts because you need those.
Sure, yeah.
And then I've got this paper airplane with a dagger on the front of it.
I'm sorry. Could you walk me through that?
So the way it works is you fold it up.
Right.
Right. It comes just a sheet of paper and it says #otherbothers all over it because we want people using that. And then you glue this super sharp dagger to the front of it and you throw it with your friends.
Isn't it going to just immediately fall to the floor because it's just a piece of paper with a large knife at the front?
Well, that's why we came up with Blatt's Guide to Knife Throwing. This book is going to sell like hotcakes. I have no doubt about it.
But at no point does Blatt throw a knife in the series.
So we also have these light up mugs, and when you put them down and they're empty, the ceiling above, look, you can see it says right there, patreon.com/albasalix. It says it on the ceiling because of the mug.
Why would you want to have one of those?
Why wouldn't you want to have one of those?
5-minute call. Hey, guys. Hey, Egerton, you're in Blatt's trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to get you a trailer one day, I promise.
Yeah, that's what you guys keep
We're
saying.
going to get you a trailer, don't you worry.
All right.
So 5 minutes call, Blatt. Oh, hey, did we get it? We got the new heat-sinking killer drones in stock?
Yeah, these are the best. All you have to do is rate and review on iTunes, and it will target your enemies and destroy them.
This can't be legal at all.
It's totally fine. Totally fine. Here, why don't you take one of these, buddy, and you can just go show Sean.
Oh, I'm going to totally do that. All right, I'm going to turn it on. Bye, guys. 5 minute call.
Now, let me show you the battle axes.
No, I'm good.
We cut back to the cell as Blatt raises a finger high into the air with...
I know it's probably not wise to fire off a bazooka in here in such close quarters. Don't look at me like that, Darcy. But a large metal tube with the shell removed might be strong enough to batter down this door.
Fine.
And
Yeah.
that is when the door opens and a shadow fills it. And you hear a silence outside. All the workers have stopped. The guards aren't talking. And a figure steps into the room wearing dress shoes that clap softly on the cobbles. A rather nondescript gentleman with a small nose, fastidiously dressed in layers of robes of silver and gold, and fingers adorned with an insane number of rings, and the darkest, blackest eyes you've ever seen, as if the color in the room is being sucked into them. Are these them? And there's no guard in the room. You hear a guard from outside go, "Yes, Chancellor." What are your names?
Hi, I'm Egerton.
Eggerson,
I'm
and I,
Egger-
of course, am Frank, and this is my sister-in-law, Agatha. We are a traveling ventriloquist troupe. He's very good. I'm not the one speaking right now. It's the shorter fellow. Quite talented, are we? Well, we've taken up too much of your time. Perhaps you can let us go and we'll never come to your county again.
Roll Defy Danger, Blatt.
That's a 12.
Perfect
Nice.
roll. You feel his mind like connecting into yours, and you feel yourself losing yourself into his eyes, and then all of a sudden it's like he's thrown backwards, and you actually, everyone else sees him stagger back a few steps and shake his head, and he's uncricks his neck, and he looks at Blatt even more intensely. No one has thrown me out before.
Well, no one's tried to enter my mind before. But that's just what a half-demon mind can do. So, Chancellor, clinky clinky with the key, and we won't bother you any longer.
How did you arrive in this kingdom?
I have a question, first of all. Is this the voice that Darcy heard in her head when she cast the spell on the undead?
No.
Okay.
But the eyes are the same.
Okay.
How did you arrive in my kingdom?
We have these neat little things, and they can turn them, and then they will go.
Yep, they're called puppets. Puppets with the ventriloquist troupe. We have many of them, and we can make them talk. For God's sakes, keep him quiet.
And Darcy goes around Eggerson. I've totally bought into it immediately. That's how charismatic Blatt is. Darcy goes around behind Egerton and just pulls him back and is holding him really tight and sort of putting her arm around his shoulder and almost blocking his mouth.
Good work, Agatha. And as you can see, even though it appears his mouth has been closed, I am still talking. Ooh, the talent. It would be a shame if we didn't make our next performance date at the local children's hospital. So, Again, please let us out and we shall be on our way. Do you like fairy cakes at all?
This storyverse belongs to my master. And he turns and starts to leave the room, clacking out.
Did he just say storyverse?
You hear him speak to a guard. Kill them now.
He definitely said kill them now. I heard that one.
I don't want to be killed now.
So I
You
release
hear swords being drawn outside.
my grasp on
Yes.
Egerton.
Yes, Chancellor.
Oh, Lord. Everyone against the wall. Against the back wall. Backs against the wall.
Okay, I'm against the wall.
We back up.
This is a terrible idea. Bazooka!
And you all see this time this bazooka materialize out of the air from on his shoulder all the way down to just sitting perfectly in Blatt's hand. The trigger right under his finger as a screen pops up, and where you see forms starting to block the doorway.
I'm just going to aim at the doorway. I'm waiting for the door to open. If I see the
door is open. He didn't close it. So the door, but the cell.
The cell door is what I'm aiming
Correct,
for.
okay.
Yes. So I'm waiting for the cell door to open, and if it opens, it's fire at will.
Okay. And two guards are stepping in, and one of them's like, "What? Where'd he get that?"
Where did I get this? Ventriloquists are quite tricksy, aren't they? Please don't listen to creepy Blackie Eye. Just let us go, or I will be forced to use this.
Two more are starting to come in the door, and the two are stopped in the doorway.
This is not just a metal tube, I assure you. This is a tube of badness. Just open the door and let us go, or I'll be forced to pull the trigger of doom.
I don't like this. I don't know what that is.
Trigger of doom.
They're slowly backing up.
Unlock the cell door and you can back up. You, do you have keys? Do you have keys? Get keys. Give that one keys up front.
I don't know what that is. And they're all backing up.
Keys?
Going out
What?
the door.
No, one of you has to have keys. Come back with keys.
And they slam the door. You hear a lot of murmuring going outside. Fan out. Maybe he's coming out.
Well, this is just great.
I thought you said that you could take the thing out and then we could use it to bang down the door.
All right, we could try that. Help me get the shell out of this thing.
What's a shell?
It's fine, I'll do it. So Blatt begins unscrewing,
Okay.
taking apart the
Bazooka.
bazookas,
Unloading it.
get the shell out so he doesn't blow us all to kingdom come. And with that,
And what's going to happen if you damage the bazooka, Blatt? Do you know?
no idea. No idea at all. Is it a new one that comes every time? I'm just guessing, but I don't know.
Okay.
I'll remove the shell. I'll gently place it the far corner of the cell, put the bazooka back together, and then use it to just start hammering away at the cell door.
And you hear voices out, sort of like shouting. You hear guards talking back. It's a lot of craziness. And you start bashing at the door. Okay. So what would that be?
That would be strength, I suppose.
Hack and slash?
Yeah, let's hack and slash it with a strength bonus.
Well, it would be a strength negative.
Why?
Because my strength is only 8, so that's a -1. I didn't have to do much in the way of physical labor or cell door bashing in my life as a file clerk. Come on, baby. Let's cell door our way out. That would be a 7, which is actually a 6.
Yeah, so you're banging and slamming and you're denting up it's not as strong as you had hoped. And so, yeah, you're bashing it up, the screen snaps, and the door is still there.
I have a question. Did anyone check to see if it was locked?
No.
So I walk forward and sort of try and finagle with the handle.
It's locked.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Just wait a minute. And I turn my dial to calm.
Yep.
And I say, hello, Ananka? Ananka?
Yes, hello, I am here.
Ananka, we're stuck in this cell, and this really creepy guy, I think he called himself a chancellor, or someone called him a chancellor, came in and talked to us, and he was really scary, Ananka. I got a really bad feeling. Do you know what's going on? Do you know how we can get out of this? They now want to kill us.
If the storyverse is correct, I believe there is a ghoul. Something has infected this place.
Do you know anything about that? There's a person here in a cell beside us, and they seem to know about Steadfast. Do you know anything about that person?
I cannot see. I do not see. I'm sorry. I do not see.
So we have to get out of this cell. That seems to be apparent. That's the first problem.
Yes, this may sound crazy, but maybe you can tell that you can answer 3 questions. Your training. 3 questions that you could answer.
Do you two know what she's talking about?
I feel like I'm on a game show all of a sudden. 3 questions? Tell us who the sketch artist is. Who's blacky-eyed? How do I get out of this cell? Don't ask me how many fish I can name.
You hear Moira in the background going,
They haven't finished training, Ananka. They were plebes. Here's another book.
and you guys hear the front door to the guard shack being opened.
Okay, Ananka, I'm going to keep this on comm. If you have anything, call me back, but we need to start figuring out something right now. Blatt, can you recall another bazooka?
I have absolutely no idea. I take the busted bazooka and I throw it to the side of the cell, and I just call out, "Bazooka!"
And a brand new bazooka materializes out of the air onto your shoulder and into your hand.
Oh, thank heavens, at least that's operating correctly.
Get us out of this cell.
All right. Everyone's back against the wall.
And the door opens, and you hear, "I don't care what you say. I said stand down, back up. You better put your sword away before the consort." And you hear a guard going, yes, consort. And you see a figure, much smaller figure, stepping into the doorway.
Put the bazooka down, Blatt. Put the bazooka down.
I'm not doing anything until I see his eyes. What do his eyes look like? Then I'll put the bazooka down.
So you see a rather beautiful man, hard to tell his age, early 30s. His face is angelic. His eyes dance over a mouth that seems to always show his mood. And he's got long blonde hair, and he's wearing a long robe that seems pretty ornate. He's like, "Hello, visitors." And he's like stepping in as if his eyes are adjusting. "Hello. Oh, there you are. My apologies, I am Consort Varnos, and you are..."
Pissed off. What color are your eyes?
He sort of stands up a little straighter. He's like,
Simple question. What color are your eyes?
"Well, I like to say they're hazel, but I'm told sometimes in the right light they're aquamarine."
All right, fine. And Blatt puts the bazooka down.
Hi, I'm Agatha.
"Hello, Agatha. I am told that you proclaimed that you answered the riddle."
Sure.
I think he means the sign.
Yes. Fine. We did.
"Very well. Come, I will take you before King Premier."
And suddenly it's all very simple. All right, let's go see King Premier.
Can I have my fairy cakes back?
No,
please?
you cannot eat another fairy cake for the rest of the day.
And then you're all just sort of standing there, and then he's like, "Oh, right, the door. Guards, the door, please." You see that a guard sort of come into the doorway. He's like, but consort, we were told by the..." He says, "I don't care what you were told. I have given you an order. They are to appear before the king." So the guard comes forward and unlocks your door sheepishly. "I'm not sure how much time we have. I'm not sure what's going on here, but I like the cut of your jib. What was your name?"
My name was Phil. Phil. My name is Phil. And excuse my lack of shirt.
Oh, I'm enjoying that part.
Blatt
with
puts
me.
his wings more in front of his chest, creating the right side up bat with pants effect again, as he drags his bazooka tube behind him. One question. What's the sketch artist in here for?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Maybe, they seem like a good egg. Why don't the sketch artist come along with us?
Are they with you?
Yep. They were actually the one that solved the riddle. And we were like, oh, of course, the riddle. How easy. And so, yes.
He gestures, and the guard sort of unlocks that cage.
Agatha, yes. See to our good friend, Mademoiselle Tibbert.
You really are a horrible liar, but I love it.
So I go into the cell and I gently pick up this person.
Okay.
And
They're quite light.
and when I say pick up, I don't mean I'm lifting them off the ground, but
But they're quite frail for their
okay.
age.
So then I guide them gently.
Okay. They're sort of murmuring
along with
and
me.
trying to still draw in the air, but you're
Okay.
guiding them along. Okay. And so Varnos leads you out into the light, and you see there must be 40 guards, and they're all sort of hands on their weapons until Varnos looks at them, and they all step back, and he just starts walking regally up towards the main keep.
Do they have fairy cake crumbs all over their mouths?
There are fairy cake crumbs.
I
On
see
the
the
ground.
one with my pouch,
Yeah.
and I run over
He like takes a step back quite suddenly, shaking.
and I say, "Give him."
He just holds the pouch out for you.
They snatch it. They look inside, nod, and run back to the group.
So you guys are following Varnos, Consort Varnos, up towards the main keep. It's a equally impressive structure of flags and gleaming gold accents and, again, perfectly white stone. So as you walk up to the main entrance, 2 guards dressed differently stomp their feet, and the doors swing open into a foyer that is the size of a small cathedral with 60-foot vaulted ceilings, though it's not that long of a room. And then start walking forward. You're trying to stay up, I assume, with Varnos. He's just like, no, doesn't even pause, just as if he owns the place. And he's just heading for the next set of doors.
I'm just following along with this frail person beside me.
Who's trying to draw in the air?
Right? Who's trying to draw in the air?
I'm counting fairy cookies and cakes
Okay.
and looking for different types of sprinkles.
So, Blatt, you're probably the only one to really have a chance because you're waiting on Darcy with this person, and Egerton's stumbling along because he's trying to count fairy cakes at the same time. And you can probably hear some of this as well, Ananka. But you notice as you step up the steps to go into the main keep, looking back, that the structure being built in the center of the courtyard is that same. It is the outline of Steadfast. And as you enter into the main keep, assuming you're all going in, or okay, so there's a lot of guards out there watching you, and they're sort of like not keeping pace, but moving a little towards the keep. Varnos walks right towards the next set of doors, which swing open immediately, and you hear a horn being played, and you enter the grand hall. And every whisper of movement echoes across this hall. And there are inlaid tiles with crazy patterns of entire stories. As far as you can see in this massive hall, about 100-foot high vaulted ceilings. And there are 2 thrones in the far center of the room. And there is a somewhat older gentleman, not too old, on one of the thrones wearing a crown. And Consort Varnos walks right up and just spins around and sits in the other one.
They ate 14 and a half fairy cakes. And that's too many fairy cakes for that many people if
Get on
they've never
one
had
knee.
them before.
Get on one knee.
What?
You're in front of royalty. Get on one knee.
One knee?
Just get on one knee.
Okay,
Everyone,
okay.
one knee it. One knee it.
So Darcy gets down on one knee, but the person I'm with has trouble. So.
Yeah, they're just standing there drawing in the air.
I get down
a
on
hand
one
is
knee.
placed on your shoulder, and an older gentleman says, How should I announce you?
I am Phil, and this is our ventriloquist troupe.
Okay. Roll parlay. You get a charisma bonus.
Yep. That's a 9.
Okay. So the gentleman steps back. Your Royal Highness, I give you Phil and his traveling ventriloquist group. And a hush falls on the room as King Pamir sort of stops talking with someone beside him and turns and gestures for you all to approach.
All right, come on up, and Nothing about fairy cakes. Just
No fairy cakes.
pretend you have another interest for just 5 minutes.
Okay.
Could you get Scribbly here to stop drawing in the air?
No, I can't.
So you are walking up. You see King Pamir is slightly balding, middle-aged, carries himself pretty regally sitting there, but his shoulders are hunched as if on an unseen weight. And Varnos is whispering in his ear as you approach.
Greetings and salutations, Your Majesty. We are but traveling entertainers who have come to witness the splendor of your kingdom.
Varnos tells me that you claim the riddle.
Yes, the riddle said to come not by foot, so as you can see, I'm a winged individual, and thus I came to your fine castle in that fashion.
I see. Did you enter the castle by wing then?
Just outside the castle, I met your guards, and oh, what a time we had with the royal iron cage that I was wheeled in upon.
Why, by chance, were you arrested?
Racism, Your Honor.
I'm not asking you. Captain of the guard, if you would. And a man steps forward and walks up and is whispering in his other ear. Those are hefty charges against you, Phil.
I believe it is my demonic appearance that is the reason why I was arrested and thrown into your cell.
My kingdom is troubled.
With racism.
And the doors swing open behind you, and you feel a chill in the room.
Chancellor.
And there's a hush fall across the room, and the Chancellor's voice rings out. Your Highness, I was hoping to save you from this unfortunate experience of these vagabonds.
Ventriloquists, actually.
Blatt puts one of his wings up over his face to cover a quick aside he's going to have with Darcy. Didn't we hear something about the silver beetle doing something against the dark?
Do you think he's a dark, shattering person?
I don't think his eyes are like that naturally, no.
Well, then, yes. How am I going to get the beetle on him?
I tug at Blatt's other wing.
This is so subtle.
Hey guys, there's a thing on the amulets. Remember, we can detect. We can detect if something is with the shattering.
Then why don't you turn it to detect?
Without having to tell us about it and being a bit more subtle about this.
But mine's out of power because I was talking with the nice lady.
Fine, I'll turn mine to detect.
okay.
We're just practicing our act. We're so sorry. We want it to be fully polished for your highness. We will be with you in mere seconds. And Darcy, with the cover of Blatt's wings, sort of just turns her
Yours is
medallion
dead.
to detect.
What? It's dead.
The problem is Darcy wouldn't know that because it could just mean there's no shattering.
Well, I haven't used mine yet. I'll set mine to detect.
And as the Chancellor is stepping past you and speaking, it vibrates so hard, you can actually hear it in the hall, echoing. The bzzzt, like a cell phone going off. It's vibrating so strong, and it is pulsing black as the Chancellor walks past you.
So I quickly set it back to recharge.
But everyone freezes, including the Chancellor, who turns to look at you.
That is an amazing sound you're doing, Phil. I don't know how you managed to project that through the whole room. I think we need to incorporate that into our act.
Practice is the reason why that happened.
Just incredible. Did everyone hear that? It's simply Phil doing that noise. Isn't that incredible, everyone?
Thank you. Yes. Big round of applause for a constant rehearsal.
They practice dark magic, Your Majesty. Please allow us to remove them from your kingdom.
Not dark magic, Your Majesty. Simply acrobatic vocal cords, if I may. That's all that is. That's all it is.
But, Your Majesty, there is a new aspect of our act that we're just going to try now. my dear partner Agatha is working on a very simplistic juggling routine with fine, ornate figurines. Please, Agatha, get
Varnos
out.
is clapping.
Yes.
Please, Ben, let them. Ben, I want to see an act. I want to see you juggle, demon.
Of course you do. Agatha, if you could please hand me the special juggling prop.
The king raises his hand and sits back down and says,
I will allow it.
and he leans over and whispers something to Varnos, who giggles, and they seem to be caught up with each other while you prepare your act.
Well, I think if you're going to juggle, Phil, you'll need more than one. So, Egerton, I think you'll have to pass over your ornate juggling ball as well.
Oh, yes, my ornate juggling ball that I have as part of our ventriloquist act, because that's who we are. We're ventriloquists.
Egerton,
And-
just hand it
okay,
over.
here you
He's
go.
just staring at you. He's like, you will be mine. He's just talking between his teeth. You will be mine. This story verse is ours.
Yes, I will be yours and you will be my volunteer from the audience. Yes.
What?
So if I could just get the two juggling props from my two assistants, Agatha and Egerson. And
I don't want to be in your act.
just a moment, please. It's very good. Okay, Scribbly, if you could just get out of my way here. That's very good what you're doing into thin air.
And I hand over my
I
beetle.
pass mine over.
Yep.
Now, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, I have nothing up my sleeves because I do not have a shirt on. Here are my wings spread open wide.
Oh, I like this part.
Now
And
then,
you
if
see
you could,
King Premier frowning a little. And
Chancellor.
Varnos is like, oh, relax. I'm just looking.
Chancellor, if you could just open your hands for me. We're just gonna try catching this, and we'll see what happens when that happens. Alley, oop! And instead of tossing it underhanded, I just whip it at him as hard as I can.
Okay, so it bounces off of him. He's like, oh, what is that? I've been attacked. Varnos is like, that wasn't an attack. Catch it.
And so Darcy looks over at Blatt, and then she starts a very awkward sort of dancing movement as if she's kind of being the presenter
Chancellor's
assistant.
bending down and looking
And
at
she's
the
sort of
strange
going,
beetle.
and she starts dancing awkwardly towards the Chancellor, very smiley.
He's
and
paying you no
very-
mind. He's staring at this beetle.
Yeah, and so I come over and I go, oh, so sorry about that. And I pick up the beetle and I gesture to Phil, you must try the second volley.
Yes, the
He
second
turns
volley.
and he's watching Phil Blatt.
Chancellor, here's another one. Get ready, and I pretend to throw it for a second, just to catch him off guard.
And then
When he flinches,
Darcy takes the beetle and clamps it on his arm and makes the mechanism,
Activates it.
activates the mechanism. Thank you.
You hear a shunk, and you hear him go, ah! And he arches back, and he literally explodes. And it's like a wave of blackness that buffets you all back. People are thrown against walls, and then it dissipates. And there is no Chancellor. And Varnos is like, best day ever!
Ta-da!
and that's our act, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be doing another show in 30 minutes.
Cut to, you are in a waiting room, and there are drinks, there are a few people, and you are talking with Varnos, who is ushering over the King Premier, and the King walks over, and he's like,
Again, I'm not sure how you're going to bring back the Chancellor.
Well, it's the code of the performer when such acts of magic are performed. We can't reveal our secrets. That would ruin the show.
Yeah, it's not like we're some kind of lame improv troupe or something.
Don't hurry up with doing that part, okay?
Oh, absolutely. We'll maintain the mystery as long as we can.
I really didn't like what they were building out front. Much better this way.
Yes, very good. is Scribbly free to remain with us for the moment?
There's just this person drawing on the walls of the palace in the background.
Yes, in fact, the sooner Scribbly goes with you would be great.
Excuse me, Your Majesty, but what are they building in the courtyard?
We're not sure what it is. The Chancellor said it was a monument to a god that we had never heard of. Everything seemed to make sense when the Chancellor was around. But enough of him. If you would please humor an old king, there is someone who wishes to speak with you all. Someone who spoke the words of the prophecy that foretold of you coming and saving us.
And the king leads you out of the antechamber, and he waves off the guards, and down a hall, and up a spiral staircase, and pauses before a door carved with a beautifully intricate tree, and opens it. And as you follow, you step out into a garden, but a garden quite majestic, because you are so high up. You can see the valley spreading out in both directions. And the two mountains seem a little less tall on each side of you. And it is a garden of just grass and giant trees that are somehow way up high on this palace. And there are a few little places to sit, and the king is walking towards a very large old apple tree that stands out because all of the other trees are very sculpted and perfect, and this one is scraggly and it is very dense, like way too dense for a tree that you can't even see through the foliage. And he has stopped beneath it.
I'm not a fan of apples, so I'm going to go stand over here and work on my ventriloquism.
Darcy just rolls her eyes.
Are you guys walking up to the tree?
Yes.
Yep, walk up to the tree.
Okay.
I'm going to take the opportunity to turn on my comm.
Okay. We'll do that. The connection goes green on the comms to you. You suddenly can speak.
My tree, oh my gosh. Are you okay? What happened? I could not speak to any of you. I could not see anything. What has happened? Are you okay?
We're ventriloquists now.
Oh, not so bad career in one of my lives. I also did a little bit of a sideshow, so okay, it turned out pretty good. Where are you now? Are you safe?
We're near a tree, and it's got apples on it, and in my experience, apples can be rude and bully, so I'm going to stay away, but they're talking with the king because there was a riddle, and we knew the answer, and then the Chancellor had black eyes, and we put one of the devices on him, and then he went away, and there was a little song and dance, and this one guy really liked it. And there was a flower they were building that looked like Steadfast, but now they're not going to make it anymore. And the slaves, they're not going to be slaves anymore because the king seems like a kind of okay guy, but now he's over by the apples, and I don't like apples. So I thought I'd call and say hi. How are you?
Fairy boy, I have never been happier to hear your voice. I'm so happy you are all okay. It sounds like you have drawn out the poison. It sounds like maybe it is safe to bring back the artifact.
So about the artifact, what exactly are we talking about?
And that's when your comm dies.
Aw, jeez.
So short.
It takes a lot of power to talk between dimensions, people.
They don't make interdimensional communication devices like they used to.
That's right.
Blatt and Darcy, you are walking up to the tree with
Yes.
the king.
Yes.
So he's standing there at the tree, and he says,
Don't be afraid. It is an old friend. I will leave you to talk.
and he turns and starts walking back just around the garden. He's like, I'll be nearby if you need me. And you hear a rustling up in the tree, and suddenly a face pops out, and it is, you would know this, Blatt, it is a full-on ancient ghoul with sharp teeth and bloodshot eyes, and it's just peering down quite large out of the tree, and it's like, ah! Ah! Oh, no. Give me something to eat, demon.
Do you like fairy cakes at all?
Whatever, anything from your hand.
Egerton?
From your hand.
Just a moment, I know the rules. Egerton!
Yeah, I'm here, and I come running up.
Fairy cake me.
Oh, okay, but did you know there's a big thing up there?
I'm
you see him?
I'm aware.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we all
fairy
know.
cake. Just put a fairy cake in my hand.
And I reach in, and I take a fairy cake out, and I put it in his hand.
All right, here you are. Something from my hand. And he hands the cake to the ghoul.
Leans. The head comes way, way down. Giant head. The mouth opens.
I just sort of drop it into his mouth.
Closes, chomping. And you too, woman of the... you're interesting. Feed me from your hand.
What? But you just had something.
Feed me from your hand!
Okay. And I, in a panic, reach around in my satchel, and luckily, one of Egerton's fairy cakes fell out of his pouch into my satchel. And I pull it out, and I
The
hold
mouth opens giant.
and I throw it in.
Choose. Phil! That is a good one. Oh. Well done. I did not expect you to be the one to answer my riddle. It was supposed to be a young girl.
She's a young girl. Agatha.
No,
with me.
she's not.
Oh.
That's the way of riddles. Tell Ananka that Kuvats
Kuvats.
says thank you.
Thank you. Kuvats, one question. We were supposed to bring something back to Ananka. Would you possibly know what that is?
I would.
It's going to cost us something for you to tell us, isn't it?
Not this time.
Oh.
You freed my kingdom and my story.
And the head disappears in a rustle of branches and then comes back, and a small ball is dropped down.
I pick up the ball.
It is the ball the king used to play with up here while he pined for a lover.
So not jewelry or...
A ball!
A ball it is then. Yes, I'll be sure to bring this back to our dimension. And Blatt holds on to the ball, bows. Thank you, your
And the head disappears and is gone.
ghoulishness.
I have questions for you, Blatt, that perhaps you can answer.
I doubt I can, but go ahead.
Why was there a giant head eating fairy cakes, and why did he have a ball, and why was the king playing with a ball in the tree while thinking about a lover?
Because life is complicated when you don't have fairy cakes to distract you. Here, put this in your cake pouch. We'll bring this back to Ananka.
Oh, okay. And I put it into my pouch.
All right, let's turn our dials to transport and get out of here.
All right, let's see if this works. I set mine to transport.
Okay, and you're all standing there looking at each other.
Wait. Get Scribbles here in the middle. Maybe if we all hold hands with Scribbles in the middle, all of us can go back.
You're really into scribbles, huh?
I feel that Scribbles is important. If they know so much about Steadfast, maybe they can answer some questions.
Maybe we should all hold on to an arm or a leg, at least have some physical contact with Scribbles.
All right, very good.
All right, everyone put it on transport, and then we'll all press the button together.
All right.
We're all going to push one button together, or we're all going to push
Your
our own
own
buttons?
button,
I'm going to push
Egerton,
my own button.
And hold on to Scribbles.
Hold on. Okay, I've got a foot.
I've got a hand.
You know what? You hold on to Scribbles. I'll press Egerton's and mine at the same time, just to be safe.
All right, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
I knew we were friends.
I can feel everything!
The End of Time and Other Bothers, an improvised fantasy role-playing game set in the world of Alba Salix. Your game master is Sean Howard, with Michael Howie as Egerton, Marisa King as Darcy, Carter Siddall as Blatt, and special guest Maggie Makar as Ananka. Dialogue editing and transcription by Michael Howie. Additional material and sound design by Eli McIlveen. Story consultant, Laura Packer. Game consultant, Stephen Smith. Join our Patreon for behind-the-scenes information, access to our Discord server, and lots more. You'll find it all at otherbothers.com.
I think at the time that we lived, bazookas were a thing.
Oh, yeah, it's canon now.
20th century.
No, it's a bazooka. Ha ha ha!
Boom, I get it.